I'll tell you what. Our guest is loving that intro. He was bopping his head along. He was loving it.
I got kind of a big head, you know. Got a big.
I was about to say it's
head.
because he has a big head.
Yeah.
This may be the perfect setting for this show. Is that we have three people with very big heads in this room.
I don't have a big head. Actually, I do. I found out when I went to the F1 track the other day that I'm an XXL helmet.
Oh.
So
I could definitely see that. I think that it's full size, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
I think it just means it just shows how smart you are.
I think I got a big brain.
Welcome everybody to the Hey BigHead Show. Today we are very excited. We have the one and only Vegas Pauly C here with us. Vegas Pauly C, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, I love coming down.
It's pretty awesome. I reached out to him, and he has 100 or just under 500,000 followers on Instagram. And within an hour, he replied back to me. I can only imagine the amount of DMs you get on.
But you said a very magical, special word to me. Do you know what it was?
What?
You said.
I think I know what it is. But go ahead.
You said Heather.
I did. I did. And what did you say?
I said did I say I'm a tremendous fan? I'll be right down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what's really funny. I'm a tremendous fan of you, and I'll tell you off camera why. But I'm a huge fan of you. I'm sure you can guess why.
No, I have absolutely no idea.
You have no idea?
You two have similar distastes, but
in people.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have issues with
Yes.
Yes.
with the Chicxulub crater? You're gonna have to go deep on that one.
Her too.
Is that where the issue is? Is it with the $65 million year extinction? Is that where it is?
Yes.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And everybody at home can look up Chicxulub crater if you want. Okay, all right, fine.
We're gonna Google that.
I didn't even know that.
I honestly think if this person saw this, they are gonna watch the whole thing because they're gonna get anxiety.
Wow, I had no idea. I had no idea.
Wave to her.
Oh,
Wave
wow.
to her.
Well, you know, the thing about Heather is she's so authentic.
She is.
And you know what the thing about Pauly C is? He's so authentic.
And like, yeah, we're like kindred spirits. I think I said to you in the DM, I said, I'll be right down. She's so authentic.
You did.
Right.
You said such kind things about her, and it's awesome. And this is the first time you two have met.
She makes me smile.
Blows my mind.
Really? Do you watch my content?
Of course I do.
You do?
First of all, I follow you, so it comes up
know, but,
automatically.
What's a video of hers that stands out to you? That right off the top of your mind?
I love when she talks about her life at Wet and Wild. You know, like how like she was a kid growing up in Vegas, because I really feel that. I feel like it was 112 degrees out. I feel like she, braved her way through the dusty sand. You know, it was like all brown back then. Made her way to Wet and Wild and had her childhood there. Am I right or am I wrong?
Okay, so kinda. There wasn't dusty sand.
Okay.
But this is the story of how I would go to Wet and Wild. My mom got me finally a season pass.
Okay.
And I went through the gates the first time alone. They had these thing called water weenies that you could fill up at the water weenie station.
Yes, yes.
And so I would use it to cool the ground off.
Okay.
Because I wasn't wearing the proper shoes and the ground was so hot. And then I had extra money to get Dippin' Dots. And then the kiddie pool area smelled like pee. And
yeah. Well, this is the content of Wet and Wild. I know. So why you ask me what I watch, that's what I watch. And now I go over there and it's an empty hole in the ground.
Which makes me mad. They could have left it.
Yeah, they could have left it.
They could have left it.
They should have left it.
No,
They're generating money.
What are they doing there with it?
There's nothing there.
They're scamming with it. Is what they're
Andrew,
doing.
you're not even a part of this episode anymore.
This is the Pauly C and Heather show.
Well, they spent 10 years, and Jackie Robinson was going to develop it, and that never happened. And now another.
You know more info about the land than I do after it became Wet and Wild.
Right. I go over there and I stand on the roof of the parking garage at the Sahara, and I'm like, because it's easy content for me. I live right in the Allure.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's it's what we call in the business. We call it low hanging fruit.
You have such an incredible life story, just a stories for days. I feel like. When is the autobiography coming out, and can Heather write the foreword?
I feel like so much of it is just so boring. They say that being a pilot is hours of boredom and a few minutes of sheer terror.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's my life. It's just hours and hours and hours of boredom and just sheer terror.
Can I tell you what my favorite content was?
Go ahead, tell me.
When you were feuding with Resorts World.
I know, but they called me up. You
made amends.
You made amends.
Alex Dixon called me up. I was at home and I got a 702 call.
And you answered.
And I don't know what made me pick it up, because it could have very easily been telemarketers or whatever. Sure. And the minute I heard his voice, I knew who it was. Like within 1 second. And he said, do you know who I am? And I'm like, oh God. I immediately.
You're like, am I getting sued right now?
No, people don't know this about me. So as much of an asshole as I was with Resorts World, which I'll own that, I don't feel good about being that aggressive. So I ask people, do not send me down that path because you don't want to know, you don't want to know me down that path. So I felt bad for Alex. So the minute he called me and he had told a few people that I knew that he inherited me as a mess, the minute he called me and he's like, I just started over here, like my empathy just totally kicked in and their sins washed away. And the fact that they were inviting me back meant so much. And, I got a lot of respect for the guy. And then he does 112 days and they fire him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the F? He didn't even get a chance.
They already fired him?
And I told his friends that DM'd me.
Yeah, he's gone.
I said, they're never going to give Alex a chance over there. Mm-hmm. And I was being kind of dramatic. So in my mind, not giving him a chance would have been like a year and a half, not the right tools, not the right money, not the right 112 days. And, come on.
I have a question. So are you back to being banned?
I did a video this morning from there about their new parking.
Yeah, what's the deal with the parking? The free parking?
They're going to do free parking, but only until you see. Here's the disconnect between executives and gamblers.
Hold on, don't leave us hanging. Until when? Until when?
Until August 28th.
Yeah,
I think.
August 28th. It's already on their website, which is funny because I was going to do a post about that today, being like, "Look, Vegas casinos, let's keep doing this, please, 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 please."
But as gamblers, like I don't know how much of a gambler you are.
I don't gamble.
Okay.
$20, and then if I lose it, I lose it.
I'm a deranged gambler. So if you're a deranged gambler, you look at that and you go, so what? So until August 28th, you're going to give us the honor. And I'm going to tell you where this goes.
Yeah.
Until August 28th, you're going to give us the honor of coming down there. If you're a regular player, getting 6 to 5 on blackjack, getting 3 zeros on the roulette wheel, getting a terrible pay table on the slot machines, getting minimal to no comps, and being in a place that,
Pauly C, don't get banned again.
Let's be honest, it's kind of boring, right? Like to me, fix the games first.
Yeah.
Like to give some great games, bring some fun in there. I stood there and I did a post on the craps game that they should have there. Fix your craps, and I had spoken to Alex Dixon about a lot of this stuff, and then, that's it, he's gone.
But see, as a degenerate gambler versus someone who doesn't gamble, I want the casinos to have free parking because I want to go to a show without feeling like I'm getting dicked over. I want to be able to go have like lunch at Resorts World and not have to spend $200 to do so.
And Janet Jackson tickets are very cheap right now, so you can go and park free. I think it doesn't come in until June 2nd. Mm-hmm. And you can see Janet for $90. When I look at a situation like that, and this is true about Resorts World too, and a lot of people don't think about it like this. So Resorts World spent $4.3 billion building the hotel out. It comes to $1.5 million a room. If you use any cost of capital on $1.5 million, even at 8%, 8% of $1.5 million is $120,000. Divide 120,000 by 365, you come up with roughly $300.
Okay.
I'm not counting the restaurants, the casino, whatever. My point is, if you go to Resorts World and you stay there for $150 a night, you're actually like $300 ahead of them every single night you stay there. It's $450 a night, and like you're getting a comp without realizing you're getting a comp.
Girl math.
Right. Well, yeah, it's girl exactly. That's it. It's girl math. You're right.
It's girl math.
It's girl math. But same thing with Janet Jackson. They're paying her $1.3 million divided by 5,000 seats is $260 a seat. If you go there for $90, what is it? It's girl math.
I have a Vegas education.
It's girl math.
You're a big numbers guy.
Yeah. Well, I was born like this.
Wait, where were you born?
In Roslyn, New York.
Okay, see, New York education, great. Vegas education, you lost me at divide.
Oh, but honestly, I've been doing this since I'm 3 years old before I was educated.
Okay, well.
What is it about the numbers that attracts you to it?
So my understanding is that, well, I already know that I have a genetic mutation called CCAATT. And what I was told by a physiologist who went to Columbia, he said that, Paul, what's going on in your brain is your dopamine is so low, but the one area of your brain where it is sitting is the same part of your brain where numbers are used.
Okay.
So I can remember being 3, 4, 5 years old and wanting to go to sleep, and I would just count numbers or add numbers or divide numbers. And so it's just, it's just something I was born with. I mean, some people are born with incredible literary skills. Some people are born with amazing ability to speak 6 languages. You get these little kids that speak 6 languages. Obviously, I can only speak 1. I can't even get that out.
Easy for you to say.
Right. But I'm just a math guy, that's all.
Yeah, I feel like that helps you too stand out, especially on social media, because people can post about random things going on around Vegas, like we've seen, and they can be successful with it. But what helps you stand out, and this is my opinion, is you're excellent with the numbers, but you do it in a way that simplifies it for the everyday viewer.
Yeah, you can understand what is actually going on.
So honestly, believe it or not, that's an immediate empathetic reaction.
Yeah.
So I'm not oblivious and or tone deaf to the fact that other people don't really get the numbers. So I'm trying to make it palatable and digestible for, regular people. Now, when I say regular people, I'm immediately aware of the fact that I'm blown away by people that can like speak 2 languages or 3 languages. So when I meet people who can speak a couple of languages, the fact that they'll switch into my language is the same thing as when I switch into simpler math.
Gotcha.
You understand?
I do.
Yeah.
One of the things that stood out to me, and you've brought it up in other shows, is you're 60.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But I feel like
Wait, you are?
Yeah,
I would have
I'm
never
60
guessed
years
that.
old.
I would have never guessed that.
Come
You're
on.
great. But I feel like you got really popular, at least on Instagram. I'm not sure on TikTok. Probably around 2022, 2021, maybe?
No, so my anniversary on Instagram is June 23rd. It'll be 2 years.
Okay, so 2 years.
It'll be
you're
2
only
years
at
this
2
year.
years, too.
2 years.
So as an influencer,
it.
though, especially influencer can be a young game, but you are you're older, but you're relevant. Like people can be older and they can have a short little flash in a pan.
Right,
but
right,
you've
right.
stayed relevant. How do you do that at 60 years old?
Wait,
So-
I can
go
answer
ahead.
this for you. Being authentic.
Heather's an old soul, which is
Yeah.
how she can
Being
answer that for
authentic.
you.
I feel like when you're authentic, you keep your audience longer. I mean, go ahead.
And
finish it.
Heather is just so authentic, too.
And you're so authentic. You
And I
really don't
love
give a
that
fuck.
about her.
Oh, you too. Oh, stop it.
No, you really
too.
are. Like if you look up authentic in the dictionary, there's Heather.
Yeah.
And next to
great.
that is Pauly C.
It's easy. It's easy. I'm
I'm
not
gonna
nothing.
take this clip right here, put it on Face in Vegas, and be like, when Pauly C and Heather meet and become best friends instantly.
Are we doing it?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Heather says make this a clip so often that we got a sound clip.
Like, put that on Instagram.
Oh, I like that.
That's the whole thing. But again, you're on the go. You are always moving. You're always talking. You're always doing something. How do you do that?
Well, getting back to the other question, because I think it's important that I answer it honestly.
Yeah.
And I think that this will give a lot of people solace in the world or in life. I don't take any credit for anything I am or anything that I do, because to be inauthentic, and I can really feel this in my soul, so to lie or to be inauthentic or to get in a situation you don't want to be in, those are extremely dopamine sucking events for me. And I was born with no dopamine. So violence is extremely, it's a big dopamine suck for me. So like I don't enjoy MMA fighting at all. You know what I mean? And that's a big thing in Vegas. It's a huge handicap for me. But the point is to lie. Like if I had to lie to you right now about something, and this makes me dangerous on podcasts, and it tortures my poor partner because they'll ask me an inappropriate question, and I will immediately give them an inappropriate answer. And now
Just
I'm
like
in
me.
trouble when I didn't even I don't want to answer that question, but I'm a little, I'm just a little too accommodating, and I'm very honest, which I appreciate the fact I can see that this is a classy family show. But I told you what happened. I told you what happened on the last one.
Let's pump the brakes on family show.
All right.
We literally had a porn star on here.
Oh, you did? Okay. You don't want me anywhere near that. So the fact that I'm honest is not something that I take credit for. It's just that I don't have the dopamine to BS you.
I really feel like me and Pauly C are the same person.
You guys are besties.
I literally can't lie either.
It's too much energy. It's
and
like,
then you
yeah,
have
it's
to,
like,
follow
yeah.
your lies, and then it's like sucks.
It's so easy in Vegas. Like, Alan will come up to me and say, how'd you do? I got wiped out. I lost $7,000. It's funny. He said to me the other day, and I was walking home from the Bellagio, and I'm supposed to be walking home, right? Because I told him I'm going to get exercise. I'm going to walk home. But of course, I walked by the Venetian Palazzo where I love to play blackjack. So I go in there and I play blackjack, and he catches me sort of stopping because he just wants to make sure I'm okay because he feels that whatever, me walking home at night, I'm 60 years old, whatever. He catches me kind of, and I say, busted. And he immediately sees it as, I lost all my money.
Right.
I said, no, Alan, I'm not busted. I didn't lose all my money. You busted me that I stopped, that I couldn't stay away from the blackjack table.
Alan, your business partner, do you feel the need to have somebody there to help you kind of stay on path?
He is capable and adroit at doing all of the business things that I am not capable of doing. Like I'm sort of a bumbling. My girlfriend says it's bumbling and fumbling, and she thinks it's an old man thing, but I've been doing it my whole life.
You have ADHD.
You know what I'm saying? The worst ever.
So do I.
Yeah, the worst ever.
I
So
think that's what makes good influencers.
so that's low dopamine. That's low dopamine.
Okay.
It makes us good because the whole world is going that way.
Yeah.
Everything's going down to 1 minute.
Oh, you're right. So
Yeah.
we're like thriving right now.
Right.
Because our brain.
We're thriving in the 1 minute economy.
You're trendsetters.
Right.
That's exactly what you are. But I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's
Continue on him helping you kind of stay on path with that.
Well, he does all of the low dopamine. He's super mentally healthy and very neurotypical. And so he's really good at dealing with people without annoying them. And like I've brought in people on deals and they start to talking and there's all these email. You know, past like one email, it's like, dude, either we're doing this or we're not doing this.
Are you looking for another client? Because what he's saying is exactly how I am, and now I need one of you.
Yeah, he's fantastic. But you know what? I don't want to share him with you.
Okay.
You can't afford him, Heather.
No, he's fantastic. Very, very humble. He's fantastic. But I just don't have the energy to create and take the emails and then also negotiate. I don't have and so this
It
leads,
also sucks negotiating.
it sucks. And I don't negotiate. So because I can't negotiate, this kills Alan, but I just don't charge for anything. Like I do everything free. Like I've never charged for a video, but Kalshi did 2 videos. They did pay me $5,000 a piece, Kalshi. And I did work at the Peppermint Hippo for $1,000 a month for 4 months, but then I got bored with that place. So I would rather, like, instead of like having the conversation, I did a video for someone the other day. When I tell you they were trying to jam $1,000 in my face, but you have to understand something. If they jammed the $1,000 in my face and they were really trying,
Sure.
and I put it in my pocket, the video is going to suck.
Yeah.
But if I do it free and I do like the product,
Yep.
and I do it free and I help them out, now it's like a mitzvah. Now it's like, so I have to tell you, Tom Arnold. Do you know who Tom Arnold is?
No.
You don't know Tom Arnold?
No.
Okay, but Tom Arnold is relatively famous. I don't know
Okay.
where he is now.
Youngin.
So Tom Arnold suffers from crippling depression.
Okay.
And he gave an interview. And, you know, you can watch these interviews of people who suffer from like diseases, and you can learn a lot. So he said that when I wake up with my crippling depression, he said, I was told, and this is true, and I learned this, the first thing that I do in order to solve my problem is to do an act of service. So he will give something to the world, to the community. I can tell you straight out that going to like some crazy restaurant behind the Resorts World, or like I'm going to go down to this burger place on West Tropicana who also offered to pay whatever, going down there and doing that video for free for them, I get so much more out of it than they would, than like anyone else. And it's like, but then the problem becomes like, I'm triggered. She knows exactly what I'm saying. I'm going to let her talk in exactly 1 second. The problem with it is then you're not monetizing. Like, how do you pay your bills?
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, Pauly, I do the exact same thing.
You know what I'm talking about. You feel me.
First off, I hate negotiating.
Right.
Number one. Number two, when I started Raising Vegas the way that I was going, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to charge a mom and pop. I cannot do it. I cannot do it in my heart, my soul.
Right.
I'm going to help them out. I'm going to do it that way. And a lot of them come back and be like, okay, well, can you do a second video and I'll pay you? And I go, maybe next year. I can't do it the same year.
Yeah, you can't do it the same year.
No,
I know.
you
I know.
can't.
It's a one-time thing.
Yeah,
And you felt good once.
I felt good.
Right.
Especially, there was this one place, Blooming Buns Bakehouse. I found them on my feed.
Oh, I love the name.
I went in there. I paid my $60. I never told them I was coming. I just went in there, bought the stuff, did the stuff. I think that video got like 300,000 views. They're like, you saved our business.
Oh.
And I was like, that's all I want.
Would you let me say it?
What?
Blooming Buns. I like that.
There it is. Hold on.
Make that a clip.
There it is. There it is right there.
But I feel like I can't do the same thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I look at other influencers and they're like, oh, I made 10 grand last month. I'm like, I made 10 grand all year.
Right.
Like,
I feel you, girlfriend.
Again, I need one of you.
we have the same condition. He probably could do a lot for you. I mean, he's
So clearly you have a lot going on in terms of activity throughout the day. Clearly you have a lot going on in the mind too, minute by minute.
But there's no plan though. So like this yesterday, I couldn't have even told you what I was doing today.
He asked me to hang out one time. He's like, just let me know the day of. And I was like, okay. Like, don't you want a couple days to know? He's like, no, just let me know the day of. And I was like, I can't wait.
Because I would just go have coffee with her and pick her brain. Like I know I can learn from her. You know what I mean? And I know that she's like dialed in and wired in, and I know she's raised in Vegas, and like, you know, what's to lose? There's nothing to lose.
What's a question that you'd ask her? What's one of the questions you would ask her?
I would like to know how you grow up as a child here and watch all of this adult activity and don't lose your mind. Like when you're 17, 18 years old.
I think when I was growing up here and I would see like billboards with, I think the body image thing affected me more than
You think
sexual
really?
stuff.
Okay.
Because I think when I was like 18, 19 and my skinny hot friends were getting boyfriends and I wasn't,
Aw.
I would sit there and be like, well, maybe if I was really, really skinny and had big fake tits, maybe they would care. And I think that I've done a video.
Are you allowed to say fake on this
I-
podcast?
yeah.
I guess so. Okay. All right.
So I think
Absolutely.
that fucked me up more than actually like the sexual part of it. I think you become numb to it. Like nothing, like shocks me anymore. Living
Right, I
my
can
whole
understand
life.
that, yeah.
Like
In Vegas,
instead of
definitely.
having hotel or house parties, we had hotel parties.
Right.
My friends would go on the strip and try to find ugly dudes that would buy us alcohol because we couldn't do it. So like,
Wow.
it was a constant like.
None of them came up to me, girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
It was one of those.
And I was here back then.
It was just one of those things where we were like, and our parents didn't really give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
they were just like, oh, okay, have fun. And I remember, this is the greatest story. I'm about to graduate. I have a boyfriend.
What year is this?
08.
Okay.
And
Right in the middle of the financial crisis.
Yeah. So I'm literally about to go to my graduation the next morning. My boyfriend's like, let's go to the strip club and party.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I have to go to bed. I have a graduation tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
This is the best part. I had to pick him up from the strip club on my way to my graduation.
I don't know how anybody keeps their sanity. Like
You
as,
don't.
like as an adult, it's really high, the amount of insanity. And Anne-Marie, who's a very good friend of mine for many years, she started to call it Mind F Vegas. Because like every day, these Mind F things are going on.
Yeah.
And like as a younger person, especially a female, because I have two sisters. So I watched my sisters grow up and I watched all the pain of the dating. Like I know all, and my poor mother, you know, my father was not very nice to her. So I've seen all this pain and I've seen all these problems. But it was Roslyn, New York. So like everybody was kind of keeping it together. Everybody was professional. If all of that was going on in Vegas, oy vey,
It was,
that would be rough.
It was definitely interesting. Like I said, my mom would like let me go on the strip by
Right.
myself.
Well,
to
how
Wet n
old?
Wild.
How old were you?
I think I was like 16.
Okay, yeah.
So I was still young
That's very, yeah, it's very
to be
young.
on the strip by yourself as a kid.
Yeah.
But like, this is the number one thing parents would do: get their kids a season pass, drop their kid off at Wet n Wild, and go gamble.
Back to Wet and Wild.
That sounds like the kind of parent that I would be, actually.
There you go. Well,
And-
no
but
Wet n Wild to babysit.
Okay.
You've mentioned in other videos, growing up, getting girls and gambling was more of a priority for you than anything.
Well, no, I didn't get any girls, so it was just gambling. Like, I really believe this. So I'm like the only guy who was in Vegas in the 90s with hundreds of thousands of dollars in front of him on the table.
Yep.
And like wasn't even thinking about girls or women because the drug of gambling was just so much.
Back to that
you
dopamine?
couldn't compare the two.
Yeah.
Like I like women. I find them attractive, whatever. But I was so much more attracted to like
Sure.
an ace and a 10 than like I would ever be attracted to a 10.
Yep.
And the ace and the 10 were readily obtainable. Like you don't have to go
That's
through.
21, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to go through a lot of BS. But I'll tell you a funny story about getting old. I walked by the XS nightclub for 20 years as a gambler. Usually had like 100,000 with me, maybe 50 if I was coming to the win. And I never once thought about going into XS nightclub ever because what am I going to do? I'm going to go in there. I'm going to spend $3,000-$4,000 on a bottle, fake it till I make it. Some girl's going to come over, maybe have a drink, maybe not have a drink, like whatever, be gone. Like I know who I am, and I knew that it was just going to be me spending money putting on a show that wasn't real. So if I go by there for 20, and I don't care. I'm not bitter about it. I'm having so much fun in life. Before this, reading my books, reading my facts. I have a beautiful girlfriend. I have great friends. I'm happy. I don't need to go into excess. And I turned 58 years old. And stuff like this just blows my mind. I hope I don't get emotional about this. I turned 58 years old, and Win Nightlife reaches out to me. And I only have about 150,000 followers maybe. And they say, Paul, we'd really like to have you for New Year's. And I go in there, it's New Year's, and they put me on the stage with the chain smokers who are young and happening. And the guy's name there, he's such a great guy. He's so sweet. His name is Randy Tomas. Shout out to Randy. He's a pretty big deal at Win Nightlife.
Randy Tomas.
Randy Tomas. I hope I got his last name right. And he puts me up on the stage, and, you know, I'm like 58, 59 years old. You know, I got no pigment. I kind of look like a zombie a little bit. And I'm standing in the corner there, and there's the chain smokers, like, interacting with me. And there's, like, 4,000 kids. What's important that people need to know is I know how weird that looks. Like, to the 4,000 kids in the audience. So I'm, like, sort of uncomfortable. But the funny part of the story, and I'll sum it up, is, like, I never even came here ever once or ever thought coming in here, and I just walked in and Win Nightlife grabbed me, and the girl's name is Natalia. She's one of the best executives in Las Vegas. She's like up there at Win Nightlife. I can't say enough. Everybody in Vegas knows Natalia Bad Show is her last name. You'll know her. I'll introduce you to her. She'll love you. And she puts me right on stage with Randy. And my girlfriend, who's much too young for me, all of a sudden, I felt, I felt cool in her eyes, which was really
I love that.
one thing she
awesome.
never expected to see was me looking cool in her eyes. So it was a.
It's with no context. The people on the floor probably don't think twice about it.
No, but I was
to
much
you-
smaller then.
But to you, it means the world, which is fantastic.
But also it's important. Like it's uncomfortable, because I am close to. At the time, I was close to 60. Now I am 60. But just in this last month or two, it's like I was at Palm Tree Beach Club, right up there with Kygo. I was with David Guetta, right up there, like right next to him. I was just with. See, now it means a lot to me because it helps my social media so much.
Yep.
So when I post me and Marshmallow going like this,
People are like, what the fuck?
it gives me a lot of credibility. But I'm really there, and I don't want to sound like a phony. This is going to sound so phony, but I'm really there for the people. So the minute I'm there up on the stage, I'm not thinking about getting my drink on. I'm not thinking about the fact that I'm going to meet Marshmallow or David Guetta or whatever. I'm thinking like, let me go live on Instagram for all of the people who cannot afford to be up in the DJ booth with David Guetta, with Marshmallow, or with whoever. And I'll do and I got great, I don't want to brag, but I have strong arms. Yeah. So I can stand there with my camera for an hour. My little girlfriend Mahi said, thank God you can do that. Again.
And they live vicariously through you.
Because it feels so much effing better, and I'm not virtue signaling, this is a genetic condition. It feels so much effing better to not be there from my 60-year-old, scrawny, no pigment in my skin self. Can you understand that?
I understand.
It feels so much better to be there for every 20-something or 30-something or 40-something who's never going to go to Live nightclub and see David Guetta, who's never going to party with Marshmallow, who's never going to go into excess, because I never went into excess and I was a big gambler. To do that for hundreds of people, it's
cool.
It's just the most beautiful thing. I get so much dopamine out of it.
Yeah.
By the way, can we go get you a spray tan once? Because I just got one.
Oh my God.
It's honestly the greatest, because I'm just as white as you.
No!
Oh, Andrew, tell her.
But girlfriend, you're so tan.
Because look.
Wow, you look good.
My spray tan's falling off.
Wow.
Look at my Vegas tattoo I just got.
Wow, what is it? Oh, it's
Just little dice.
Don't show that to Vital Vegas. There's any pip fails on there. He always gets excited about. He gets very angry if the 6 and the 1 are they're called pip fails.
Yep.
Yeah, he always
Really?
talks. You know Vital?
I
know
met
of
him
him.
one time with.
He's a character. He's the well. They have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Which is fine with me because I'm such a fan of people who are more talented than me. So Vital Vegas is so much more on top of this than me. I steal all this stuff. I tell him, I'm stealing your stuff. He gives me ideas. I run out 12 hours later. But I do say, Vital Vegas. And I run out. But what I love about him is he has the patience and the intelligence to sit down and write a beautiful piece about something that I can scream about for 1 minute.
Sure.
So he did a whole breakdown of the Fontainebleau that I thought was brilliant. And I also love the fact that we are texting buddies. Mm-hmm. So I can tell him, hey, the piece that you wrote on the Fontainebleau? Wow, dude.
What are your thoughts on Real Vegas Local? Because he's my Vital Vegas. We DM all the time.
I mean, I read his stuff.
Do you know who he is?
No, I just read. I use it for information. I'll use it for a story.
I've been trying to figure out who the fuck this guy is.
Oh, see, I don't know. I just read. I just follow and read.
I love him.
Yeah.
I think he's so smart.
You never met him?
Never met him. He won't tell me who he is.
Wow.
I was high one night and I was like, can we play 10 questions? And he was like, okay, what are you trying to ask? I go, I won't ask you your name. I won't ask you I just ask basic. I was like, are you a guy or a girl? He's like, I'm a guy. And then he would tell me I'm in marketing. And I was like, okay, if I knew your name, would I know who you are? He was like, yes. And I was like,
oh, he's famous.
So I'm like, who the fuck is this?
It's probably a big
killing
casino
me.
executive.
You
It's a big
think?
casino. Yeah, sure.
Well, he knows too many secrets of mine.
Do you feel that the social media posts that you have that involve or invoke drama do better than the ones of you being live on stage? Because you've had a mix of both. You've had a mix of, positive, upbeat posts talking about how great this is, how this is going well.
Right.
And then obviously you've had some, on.
Okay,
social media drama.
so here's the straight answer. So I can do a post of how great Red Rock is and how great their earnings are because they're really a strong company and the stock was $43, was a screaming buy. I could do a post on, the fact that Boyd is an unbelievable company. In fact, I did a video. I stood in front of the California right next to Main Street Station.
My dad used to work there.
At which one, Main Street or California?
Okay. No, I'm sorry, Main Street.
Main Street. So he worked for Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he worked at Sam's Town pretty much my whole life.
Is he still at Boyd?
No.
Okay, great company.
Yeah.
So I will go there and I'll stand in the parking lot and I'll say, wow, You can buy Boyd, and I think the stock was like $67 when I did it. You can buy Boyd at 10 times earnings, and it's a great company. And I love this. And I love the fact that they just really know their market and know what they're doing. Same thing with Red Rock. Yep. Great company. Red Rock is the higher end locals to the Boyd handles more of the proletariat, so to speak. Yeah, it gets maybe 30, maybe. If I'm lucky, it'll get 50,000 views. But yeah, if I do something where
Resorts World sucks.
Yeah, well, they're failing. Like they wouldn't even tell us how much money they lost last quarter. If I'm coming home, and I did have a couple of drinks with Anne-Marie at Peter Luger's, and I'm walking by Resorts World, and I just scream out a minute of my diatribe. Now, you have to remember that it's not only fueled by my knowledge, it's fueled by the fact that they banned me. So I have all this knowledge, but you MFers actually won't even let me in your property. And I had 2 drinkiolas. So I'm walking home. I had the 2 drinkiolas. I have all this knowledge, and I have this fueled animus because generally, now many people will not agree with this, but generally I come from a place of innocence. So I did a minute, got 15 million views. It's my #1 most viewed. It's a live.
Right.
It was a live stream to TikTok. And I said, wow, I was on fire last night. I'm going to pull out a minute of me going off in front of Resorts, and I'm going to put it on my Instagram. And now it's 14.7 million. Of course, I have it on the front of my page. So that was all organic. So yeah, the negativity definitely
does better for you.
For everybody.
How do you
anyone who tells you otherwise is a liar.
How do you feel about when you post about negative things?
So I won't do bed bugs and pestilence. So I think honestly, I want to full disclosure. I think I did 1 bed bug video 2.5 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and it did very well. But then I thought about it and I said to myself, I'm not going to do bed bugs and pestilence for several reasons. I actually told this story on another podcast. But one of the main reasons is it's just totally arbitrary. And in addition to it being totally arbitrary, it's going to ruin a whole bunch of people's days.
Yep.
And the person that's going to get, God, I'm telling this almost word for word. The person that's going to get screamed at, the person that's going to get abused is some woman working as a cleaner, a maid, whatever, at Mandalay Bay,
right,
who's just trying to make it through 18 rooms that she needs to clean. And I'm not virtue signaling, I'm just telling you the math.
Yep.
Who needs to clean 18 rooms and is going to get yelled at by her manager, and the vice president's going to beg on his face. And she didn't even do anything. Yep. Like someone checked in and they had 2 bed bugs in their luggage, yep, and the bed bugs crawled out of the luggage and into the bed. And this one, so to me, to exploit, and this of course goes back to the Chicks Lube crater, which we're not going to go into because it will upset certain people, but to exploit bed bugs and pestilence, I feel that it's a combination of tone deaf,
yeah,
arrogant, elitist, and obnoxious. I really feel that way. Would you like to speak on this, Heather, now that I gave my pontification?
Amen.
Well said.
Am I right or am I wrong? Go ahead, Heather.
All right.
That heavy sigh. After that heavy sigh, I got to hear it.
Here we go. No, we're not making this a clip. I just feel exactly what you just said. That girl who's cleaning the rooms might get fired.
Right. Because a bug crawled out of somebody's luggage.
Because they have no one else to blame and someone's having a bad day and whatever.
Right.
I just feel like this whole let's blackmail casinos the way that some people do.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why? What is happening?
But full disclosure, and I apologize
What?
for interrupting you, but I got to say this. A lot of people watching this will go, look at that hypocrite Vegas Pauly C. Look what he does to. I only attack their financials. I just want to say that.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, you're attacking the actual truth, though.
Right.
Like factual stuff.
Right,
and
factual stuff.
It's not. That's not ruining their day, though. What's ruining their day is, like, I have talked to a casino exec who said, this video from this person talking about bed bugs is a fucking lie, and we lost business because of it, and that's fucked up because I almost said she. Oh, well. She ruined it for us.
I know.
And
I'm in those properties, so I know. I know the 2 properties that you're talking about.
And I just think that it's...
And we've spoken.
When it comes to the financials, the right people are to blame. When it comes to anything else...
They don't have any excuse. They've manipulated them. But I got to tell a funny hotel story. I just have to. I have to share this with you. So I go to another town in this great state of Nevada. It was not Las Vegas, but everybody thought it was. Everybody was trying to guess. And I check into another town, a super cool town, no names of the hotel, because I never said who it was. And Mahi and I check into the room. Alan never heard this story. And we're like, why does it smell like dog poop in here? Like, and we're like,
Oh, no.
So I whip out my camera and, you know, because I think there's going to be a funny moment, but I don't know anything yet, but I think it's going to be a funny moment and I want to catch the video. So, and I go under the bed and under the little chair that sits at the end of the bed, and it is just loaded with dog poop. Now, we just checked into this room.
My God.
And I did make a video of that, but I never said the name of the hotel. I never said what town I was in. Nobody guessed who it was. Nobody. But the hotel reached out to me. They offered me $500 to take the video down. I said, dude, nobody knows about where we are. Nobody knows what town this is.
$500? That's
$500. Nobody knows. I said, just come on.
Yeah.
And they offered to cover the room. I said, just clean it up.
Yeah.
Just clean it up.
That's so funny.
Yeah. It was all over the place. There's a video of it on my Instagram.
Well, we'll end on that note. That was
That's it? I thought we were going to do another hour at least.
Oh man,
We'll have you back.
We'll definitely
Okay.
Without Andrew, so you and I could just shit talk for an hour.
Pauly C is now a friend of the show and a friend of Heather's.
I definitely want to come back.
It's all going to work out. Well, Pauly, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you very
I
much.
respect your hustle. I respect the grind. I
Thank you.
respect the knowledge and everything, the content that you create for all of Vegas. So thank you again for coming.
I love doing it.
Good.
Am I going to sign off with my sign off or no?
Yes.
Please.
Vegas Pauly C.
There it
Wait, you didn't say hello, hello, hello.
I did at the beginning.
Oh, damn it.
Say it one more time.
Well, hello, hello, hello. It's Vegas Pauly C.
God, I love that.
I need a tagline.
You do need a tagline. We'll be back, everybody. HeyBigHead.com. Every episode, or every new episodes every week. We'll talk to you then.
That was fun.